Hello, team players. The Inventor class in Pathfinder has a few problems that make it not very fun to play and not very viable. But there are clearly ways to make it better. The Inventor can't really rely on its unique actions. Also, having unstable and overdrive actions have too much variance. So it feels like the Inventor doesn't have much identity. It also feels as though the armor and weapon inventors don't get very good until high level. I think the construct companion is fine, as companions are good in this system, but the other two feel underpowered. The other issue I have is with the level 19 ability, Infinite Invention. It doesn't feel like that's worth level 19. It does get medium armor mastery at that level as well, which is good, but while being able to change your subclass is cool, it feels like it takes too long. I personally think that if you could change your subclass on the fly for something like 3 actions, it'd be a lot better. Something that would actually be worth level 19. I also think that the level 14 feat that lets you ignore unstable should be more like level 10. Of course, that would have to be changed in order to fix the problem with unstable actions. So how do we fix those problems? Well, Lexchan has come up with a fantastic way to fix those problems. At least some of them. The first 2 problems stem from the same thing. Unstable actions just aren't that good. They don't work well. The main problem with them is that there are situations where they simply can't be used. This means that the inventor's unique actions can't be relied upon very effectively. Lexchan has solved this problem rather effectively. Instead of unstable actions being dependent on crafting checks for when you can use them, instead it, yes, that is their pronoun, has created a system of unique overdrive actions that build up charge, and then that charge is used for unstable actions. It has also added the overdrive trait, which allows the user to make crafting check after the effects of the overdrive action. This uses a standard DC for your level. On a success, you gain 1 charge. On a critical success, you gain 2 charges. You can, however, only use 1 action with this trait per round. Unstable actions can only be used if you have at least 1 charge. These actions consume at least 1 charge after the effects of the action. You can choose to spend more charges when you use these actions, usually for additional effects. You also take electricity damage after using these actions. Honestly, I think it should still be fire, but that's just my opinion. This fixes 2 things for the inventor. First, it gives the inventor a second unique action, so it feels like it has more of an identity. The second thing it does is allow much more unstable actions, since unstable actions don't rely so much on a crafting check. There's still the downside of taking damage for using them, but there are no longer as many situations where you simply can't use them. It has also changed the overdrive skill. Now, instead of increasing the power of your strikes based on your intelligence modifier, it explains how you get charges. As long as you have at least 1 charge, you are considered to be in overdrive. You start each combat with 0 charges and can only gain them by using overdrive actions. You can have a maximum of 2 charges at once. Anything over that is lost. You can only gain charges in encounters and they are lost when the encounter ends. You do get extra damage in overdrive, but it is based on how many charges you have instead of your intelligence modifier. This applies to your strikes and other damaging unstable actions. You also get the filling movement overdrive action. This allows you to step or stride and build up charge. However, even if you just step, you are considered to be manipulating, so you might take a reactive strike or another reaction that applies. You can also use additional forms of movement if you have them. Lexchan has also solved the second problem rather effectively. Now, each innovation has a unique overdrive action, and I think they're all pretty good. For armor innovation, you get kinetic maneuver, which allows you to do some maneuver like grappling or tripping, or hide or sneak, and gain a charge if you do well on the overdrive check. In addition, if you critically succeed on the check to grapple or trip or whatever, you gain a bonus on your overdrive check. If it was a secret check, like hiding or sneaking, you gain a bonus on your overdrive check regardless of the results. For the construct companion innovation, if you spend 2 actions commanding your companion, that action gains the overdrive trait in addition to giving your construct companion 3 actions. For weapon innovation, you gain kinetic strike, which allows you to make a strike and possibly get a charge. If the strike is a critical hit, you gain a bonus on the overdrive check. Remember that all of these can be used once per round due to the overdrive trait. To give you an example of an unstable action, we have the new version of Explode, which now deals 1d6 damage per expended charge and goes up from there at 5th, 9th, and 17th level. You also become an expert in crafting automatically and can have 1 additional charge at a time at level 3. And the number of charges and proficiency in crafting increases again at level 7 and level 15. In my opinion, this significantly fixes the 2 main problems with the Inventor class. I do want to thank LexChan for allowing me to use its PDF for this video. As for the level 14 feat to ignore the unstable trait, that needs to be changed or removed, as it wouldn't really work with the new version of unstable. LexChan has fixed this as well. Now it is a 10-minute action that allows you to, no matter how many charges you use on an unstable action, you only lose 1 charge. This is definitely worth level 14, unlike the original version. Very cool. I also wanted to talk about one of the custom feats it has come up with that I think is very cool. Assistive Gadgets. It is a level 1 feat that allows you to prepare to aid 1 ally within 15 feet. When you aid that ally, you can use crafting instead of what you would normally use. In addition, if you critically succeed on your overdrive check, then you get a bonus on your aid check equal to the number of charges you currently have. Very cool way to get people to actually use the aid action, especially since it has the overdrive trait, so you're getting charges from this as well. And I should talk about the new version of Gigavolt. Now when you use Megavolts, you can have it bounce off solid barriers in any direction, or you can expend 4 charges to make it bounce off in a cone of equal size. So you can hit multiple creatures whether in the same area or spread out. That is very cool. This version of the Inventor is way cooler, in my opinion, than Paizo's version. If you want to see the full PDF, I have a link in the description for that. It is pay what you want, so you guys can get it totally for free. If you guys enjoyed this video, you may like the video on screen. And of course, you make sure you check out the description below for more ways to support me as a creator. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, teamwork is vital. It helps us solve problems.